Long ago, in the ancient city of Thebes, King Laius and Queen Jocasta were blessed with a child. But before the baby's birth, the couple visited the oracle of Delphi to seek guidance from the god Apollo. To their horror, the oracle revealed a dreadful prophecy that their own son would one day kill his father and marry his mother. Terrified and heartbroken, Laius and Jocasta could not believe such a curse could come from the heavens. Yet, deep inside, they feared the power of fate. To escape the prophecy, King Laius ordered his newborn baby to be taken away and left to die. A servant carried the child to the mountains, pierced his tiny ankles, and tied them together. A cruel mark that would forever remind him of his tragic destiny. But destiny had other plans. A shepherd from Corinth found the baby and, feeling pity, took him to the king and queen of Corinth, who had no child of their own. They named him Oedipus, meaning swollen foot, and raised him as their beloved son. Years later, Oedipus grew up noble, intelligent, and strong. But one day at a feast, a drunken man told him that he was not the true son of the king and queen of Corinth. Troubled by this rumor, Oedipus went to the oracle of Delphi to learn the truth. There, the oracle gave him a terrible message that he was destined to kill his father and marry his mother. Shocked and afraid, Oedipus refused to return home, believing that he was protecting his parents in Corinth. Haunted by the prophecy, Oedipus decided to leave Corinth forever. He journeyed across rocky roads and silent mountains, determined to escape his fate. But destiny, unseen and unstoppable, followed him closely. At a crossroad, he met an old man and his servant. A quarrel broke out, and in his anger, Oedipus struck the man and killed him, never knowing that this man was King Laius, his true father. Unknowingly, Oedipus had already begun to fulfill the prophecy he feared the most. After many trials, Oedipus arrived in Thebes. The city was being terrorized by a monster called Sphinx, who posed a riddle to every traveler and devoured those who failed to answer. Using his wisdom, Oedipus solved the riddle, freeing the thieves from its curse. In gratitude, the people made him their new king, and he married Queen Jocasta, the very woman who had once abandoned him as a child. For years, Thebes lived in peace, until one day, a mysterious plague spread throughout the land. Men, women, and children died in great numbers. The people turned once again to their wise king Oedipus, begging him to save them. Worried for his people, Oedipus sent his brother-in-law Creon to the temple of Apollo to ask the oracle what must be done. When Creon returned, he brought with him a dark message. The plague would not end until the murderer of the former King Laius was found and punished. Hearing this, Oedipus swore that he would find the killer, no matter who it was. With courage and pride, Oedipus stood before the people of Thebes. He declared, "I will find a man who brought this curse upon our land. Whether he is a stranger or one of our own, he will not escape justice." The people cheered of their brave king, that he would once again save the city. unaware that he was searching for himself. To discover the truth, Oedipus called Tertius, the blind prophet, who could see what others could not. But Tertius refused to speak at first. He warned Oedipus that the truth would only bring pain. When Oedipus accused him of hiding the truth, Tertius finally spoke. You are the murderer, you sick. You are the curse of thieves. The words struck Oedipus like thunder, but he refused to believe. Enraged, Oedipus shouted at Tertius, calling him a liar. His pride and temper blinded him to the truth. He accused both Tertius and Creon of plotting to steal his throne. The people watched in fear as their once wise king grew with anger and proud, unable to see that a fate was already closing in on him.
After Teresa's shocking words, tension filled the palace. Jocasta, worried for her husband, tried to ease Oedipus' anger. She told him not to believe in prophecies, saying that no man can truly know the will of God. To prove it, she shared the story that long ago King Laius was killed by robbers at crossroads and their only son has died as a baby. But as Oedipus listened, a shadow of fear crept into his heart. The place where King Laius died sounded hauntingly familiar. Suddenly, a messenger arrived from Corinth. He brought news that King Polybus, Oedipus' supposed father, had died of old age. The people of Corinth wanted Oedipus to return and rule. Jocasta rejoiced, believing the prophecy was false, but the messenger added something that froze Oedipus' heart. Polybus was not his real father. The messenger revealed that years ago he had given a baby to the king and queen of Corinth, the baby he received from shepherd of Thebes. Oedipus called the shepherd of Thebes once served King Laius. When the old man arrived, he trembled as he saw Oedipus' face. Pressed for the truth, the shepherd confessed that he was the one who had taken the baby from Queen Jocasta and King Laius, the baby who was meant to die, but instead given away. At that moment, everything became clear. Oedipus realized that he was the child of King Laius and Queen Jocasta. He had killed his own father and married his own mother. The prophecy had come true. Overcome with horror and shame, Jocasta fled to her chamber. Unable to bear the truth, she took her own life. When Oedipus found her lifeless body, his cries echoed through the palace. His heart shattered, and despair consumed his soul. In the moment of agony, the guilt Oedipus took golden pins from Jocasta's dress and plunged them into his eyes. Blood poured down his face as he cried, No more? No, I have looked upon horrors. I will see no more. He blinded himself so that he would never again behold the pain he had brought upon his family and his people. Blinded and broken, Oedipus begged Creon to send him away from Thebes. Creon thought sudden, agreed. As Oedipus walked into exile, guided by his daughter Antigone, the people wept from their fallen king. He had once been their savior, but pride and fate had turned them into a tragic figure.